Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
Hey, is this thing on? Hello, testing.
No debate, cause they sold. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant.
What's up, Twitter world? There's my little OJ.
He's got an autographed OJ photo.
Has anybody heard the story about the Glizzy guy?
He fits today's generation.
Oh yeah, speaking of lady basketball players, Lola Bunny, bonkable. Yes or no?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're back. It's the Korner Booth pregame. My screen is too high because I came in like a rocket out of hell. See, I knew I was going to be running close to the vest today. Got a buddy shipping out in about 48 hours, so I was hanging out with him and his wife and was really trying to make sure I kind of stayed as much time as I could. I looked down. It's just 6:25, and I'm 28 minutes away. Your boy was burning rubber, and then I had some guy driving in front of me who was brake checking me on every curve, and the obscenities I yelled at him, I could not repeat on this network because we'd get canceled. But that being said, I'm happy to be here. I know everyone else is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Offseason Shenanigans. This is the Korner Booth podcast pregame. We've got USA versus Canada tonight. We've got a big NBA headline. We got some big NFL headlines coming up. Every time I jinx myself, I say, you know what? Oh, it's gonna be a boring show tonight. We have like nothing to talk about. And then the sports media world basically says, hey, I got something for you, bud. Just give me a second. So obviously the big breaking news, besides obviously Team USA tonight versus Canada, which I put some money on because, why not? I had some free money from DraftKings because of my Super Bowl wins. Thanks, Philadelphia. But besides betting on my home country to beat those syrup sippers, why not, right? But joining me now is my co-host who looks very happy right now. I'm watching him in the camera. He looks like a real happy camper. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Ordazzo.
Me.
You looked a little frustrated, bud. You good?
No, I just thought it was funny when you called them syrup sippers.
I'm not the first one to call him that. I have a couple. We have a couple friends from Canada. Obviously, our good buddy Brent, my boy Petey, who listens to the show repeatedly. Obviously, we get like Tate McRae, Andrew Wiggins, my boy Sid Crosby, who gave me 20 years of great hockey as a Pens fan. But tonight, he's the enemy, and he's old. So there's that.
Well, America is going to do one great thing for the world. They are going to bring two great nations together and just help them bond. And that is Britain and Canada. And Britain is going to supply Canada with a lot much needed we're here for you, buddy. Like a lot of just companionship, a lot of just support. Because if anybody knows what a good butt whooping is by America, that would be Britain. They can't beat us in a war. They can't beat us in war. They can't win a war without our help. They can't beat us in sports. So Canada, go call up Britain and go vent your frustrations. Because they'll be your best friends tonight after we whoop that butt. And Molson Light sucks.
Yeah, Molson sucks. Moosehead sucks. Canadian Rye Whiskey sucks.
All right, hold on.
It's bourbon all day.
Really good. All right, hold on. I'll give him Moosehead. I actually kind of like Labatt, but Molson Ice can go kick rocks.
Also joining us is our producer. My man had Monday off. He's the unsung hero of this show, the real MVP, and the newly under contract, Nate Wynn. Buddy, how you doing?
Hey, boss. What's up, guys? Feels good, man. Feels good, to get that job security. Feels great.
What's that like?
Hey, I tell you, after years due to my injury of being unemployed, it definitely feels good to have something. So obviously I couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys understanding my situation and it allowed me to work in the background for you guys while also doing my other job at the same time. It means a lot. So just thank you guys for your support. And I'm just happy to be here. Monday was Monday off, but I'm just back. I'm glad to be back here, I should say. And a lot to talk about for sure, boss.
Oh yeah, a lot to talk about today. I went from like shotgun shells and pew pew rounds to driving around going to get a mini fridge for my buddy's wife to flying home at Mach 1 to get here. And in all of that, I was trying to keep my eye on the sports world. But this handsome devil who's joining us way earlier than usual. He's the host of the Highland Sports Podcast, Hunter Renfro stunt double. Maybe he can get him a damn job this year. Ladies and gentlemen, our boy DJ Stewart.
Look, if I had my way, Hunter Renfro would have been employed the last couple of years and would have made some difference.
Hey, your Colts
no
could
one
use
listens to the smartest guy.
Your Colts could use them. Somebody get open.
So,
Collect them white receivers.
they need more of them. They need more white receivers that aren't running 4.340. They need a regular white receiver, not these alien freak white receivers.
Hey, yo, Pierce, what up?
White
you
bro
texted-
summer continues.
Yeah, white boy winter, actually.
It's white boy season.
Whole season. So you texted me literally as I'm getting out. I'm at the gym, getting out of the shower. I'm gonna go hang with my buddy. And you text me, "Oh, I got something for tonight," and I'm like, and it's Frank Wembanyama. I was like, keep going. It's Frank the Kid. It's Victor Wembanyama. Wrong, tall Frenchman. Anyway, Wemby is out for the season with a blood clot in his shoulder. There's a disease name for it, but I don't remember it, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. So,
Deep vein thrombosis.
there it is. It sucks. They just went and got Foxy. They kept Chris Paul. Sorry, wrong Paul. I am on a roll today.
Chris Paul's getting 11 pepper wings right now.
Wrong old guy who complains to the referees. Yeah, this just completely just torpedoes their season. Guy was the favorite to win defensive player of the year. 24 points a game. I think almost 4 blocks. He had 11 boards, averaging something like that. I was like, averaging a double-double. That as a second-year guy, I believe he's 23? Like
something like that, yeah.
Dude, that sucks. It's a non-contact injury. It's the worst, man. I feel bad because Wemby's fun. Honestly, I legitimately enjoy watching him play basketball. I really do. Even as a rival Western Conference team.
I forgot who it was, but there was a video that came out not long ago of somebody tried to dunk on him, and he didn't even move. He just stood there, put his arm all the way up, and just blocked him. I forgot who the player was, but that was great. That was my favorite Wemby moment of the year.
See, he was minus 2,500 odds to win Defensive Player of the Year, which now is going to be voided because he won't hit the 66 game mark, I believe, which is absolutely crazy on that. Which means anyone who randomly took Evan Mobley or Jaren Jackson Jr. at plus 250, they're about to have a unrealistically great cash out. But I'm hopeful for him when we look at that is it can go one of two ways. Either it's a one-off with the deep vein thrombosis. It's like a one-time thing. They get it treated. It's a 6-month treatment. He's on blood thinners. It's basically you can't get injured. That's why you're out for the season. 6 months, it's one-off. He's good to go. Or if it's like Chris Bosh, where it's a reoccurring thing, that could be a problem. It could spell an issue for his career. But I did learn Brandon Ingram actually had the same thing a few years ago. In his, I don't know if his is shoulder, but he had a similar thing. Had to miss back half of the season. Has been good ever since then. So it's not completely unheard of, I guess, if that makes sense. So hopefully it is closer to that situation, not that he's an alien, which unfortunately means that we can't have nice things because the world has to take all great things from us. So hopefully it's more of the latter than the former. And back next season, regain his Defensive Player of the Year, torture everybody who's not a Spurs fan, the usual.
Yep, that's all you really can do. And the unfortunate thing is really, as I completely realized, I did not share this over any social media besides Twitter today or X, so I'm slacking. It's just unfortunate because the West was shaping up to be one of the best. Like, you have the revamped Lakers, you have the Mavericks starting to peter off now that AD is out for and then on top of all that, I mean, you have a moving sheet behind DJ.
Oh yeah, that's a mongrel.
It's okay. I have one sitting up there staring at me, and the other one had a panic attack when I ran up the stairs at the Mach 1 trying to throw shit in the fridge. So it was it's been a very fun 20 minutes of me getting home. But yeah, it just sucks. De'Aaron Fox just got there, and now he's a lone showman again. And I feel the worst for him. Like Wemby, it's like, yeah, it's the injury. You can only say so much about it. But like, I feel bad for Fox. He just got into what he thought was a better situation. And it's just like all-star game. Nope, done. I really hope this is just like a one-off because if it's a Chris Bosh thing, this is just going to suck for the NBA because Wemby was one of those guys. Like I said, I think on our last show, I said him, De'Aaron Fox, Luka, Anthony Edwards, SGA, Jaden Daniels. I mean, sorry, not Jaden Daniels. Sorry, Jason Tatum, Mr. Faking the Pose. These guys are the future of the league. Jalen Bronson's another one. Just what?
That was arguably the next Giannis with just everything.
No, that's possibly
sort of
better than Giannis.
Oh yeah, I'm saying like as far as the way he's going to just continue to get better with his freakishly giftedness too. Like that was hopefully really hoping it's just the one-off situation. He's able to bounce back next year. We never hear of this again. Ideally for him. So.
All you can do is hope and pray that he gets better quick, and yeah, hands are basically tied at that point. But Nate, you're the basketball savant here. At least you're the biggest basketball fan out of all of us. Vibes, what are you feeling right now?
Well, I mean, obviously the Wemby situation hurts a lot. I mean, he was on a roll this year, and with the Spurs getting De'Aaron Fox, that was at least give him a fighting chance to make the play-in. But without Wemby, it's basically just Fox to lead this team. So we'll see what happens. I think they'll, at the very least, make the play-in as like the 10 seed, and then just get eliminated afterwards because having Wemby is a big part of their roster, even though they have other guys like Vassell and Castle who kind of showed out at the All-Star weekend with the dunk contest and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm so focused on my Lakers right now, honestly. I think the whole Luka situation, it's still work in progress, no doubt about that, with him trying to still get acclimated with the team and everything. And then I think the past 2 losses for the Lakers have been to the 14th seed teams. Like yesterday was the Hornets, and then the team before that it was, I can't remember for some reason. But they are a bad team, whoever we lost to. So it's gonna take some time for the Lakers and Luka to get acclimated. So we shouldn't give it maybe a few more games until we really see Luka show out. But it's some rough patches right now, So we'll just see how it goes there. But overall, NBA's back tonight after a pretty okay All-Star weekend. I know you, boss, and Matt, you guys talked about
Terrible.
it. Yeah,
awful.
You guys talked about
Sucks.
it. Yeah,
NBA blows.
You guys talked about it on Monday, man, and it needs a lot of work. But hey, at least McClung jumped over a car, so at least that's a win for the white guys.
White boy winter continues. But it's the problem is the NBA sucks at everything now. Adam Silver might be the worst commissioner in sports.
I saw a post on
the walking lollipop is the worst commissioner in sports.
I saw a post on X earlier today, and it was it pretty much said Luka Doncic on the Lakers, and it was a picture of Shane Gillis in a Lakers uniform. It was great.
I love it.
That's when I saw that. I was like, oh, it's not going well. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what that
rough
is.
times.
Especially with him still being injured and rehabbing on top of that, then having to switch anything. And not to mention your previous employer and the previous place you spent 5 years of your life shipped you off without a notice and called you fat on the way out and called you an alcoholic on top of it. It's like, it's probably taken him a minute to bounce back.
Did I miss these comments? I feel like I'm missing something.
Oh, yeah, there's reports that the Mavs were more or less calling him fat after they shipped him out and saying he had a drinking problem and some other things. Like, part of the reason they shipped him out is they thought they didn't like he was getting heavy, like his weight getting up to like 270, even though he's 6'8". But
yeah,
anyway.
like a 6'8", 270 guy is a in shape linebacker. Like I don't get that.
Aaron Judge is like 6'7", and he's like 285. He's fine. I mean, it's all
they
about.
try and say Luka doesn't play defense. Like he gives you 30, 12, and 8. Like, okay, fine, he gives up 15 points. Sorry, he can't really defend. Just because it is white boy winter doesn't mean he can stay in front of people. Like, that doesn't change depending on the season.
Yeah, it's not like he's gonna out of nowhere get like an attribute boost of like 30 speed. Like that's not how it works. So
you can't really be a great defender unless you're freakishly tall and just really lengthy, or if you can move. And unfortunately, he can't move, so he makes up for it by accounting for 50 points a game. Which that'll do.
It's crazy to me. Like against Minnesota series, he was not playing defense, but what he was doing well was lighting them up. What did he do well against Oklahoma City, the series before? Light them up. I heard this theory that it's all because of gambling that he got traded, because the Mavericks owners basically are like pissed they couldn't get a casino, so now they're going to tank the entire stock of the Mavs to throw a hissy fit, but I wouldn't expect anything less from a bunch of Cowboys fans. So I mean, it's it's kind of it's unfortunate because the Mavericks are a cornerstone franchise. When I think of the NBA basketball, they're one of the 10 teams I think of the most. They're fun. I think of Dirk. I think of Steve Nash. I think of
Jason Kidd.
I think of the run with Luka that we just had. Mike Finley. Like seriously, like I don't. They're a newer team, but like fourth largest market in the country or fifth.
It's an interesting point to make when you're saying that it feels like they're purposely tanking because this all comes after Mark Cuban sells majority of his stock or stake in the Mavericks franchise, which he has been very vocal about never trading Luka Doncic at all, and then he sells majority stake, and then they start to do the things that they're doing. I'm like, I wonder if they had a plan all along. They just needed the man in the way to get out the way.
If Cuban ever sold, I think Luka's still there. I mean, he was infatuated with Luka from the start. He's the reason why they brought him in there in the first place when he was drafted. So, yeah, like you said, Matt, just the whole situation with him selling his share or whatever the case may be to that particular person and having him run the whole basketball operations thing. Hey, I will say Nico Harrison tries to act like he did the right thing. And he knows.
Bro, he bumbled the Steph Curry deal with Nike. He ain't doing anything right.
I know, like he's trying to act like all smart, like if this doesn't work or whatever,
he's the basketball equivalent of Farva from Super Troopers.
Problem is, he thinks he's the smart. He almost thinks he's the dumbest guy in the room to the point where he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and I think it's almost hindering him at this point. It's like, well, what if I did this? He thinks Moneyball or draft day is a real thing, and it doesn't quite work like that.
Yeah, it's like playing GM in NBA 2K isn't how it really works. You can't force trade, and also like this just looks like he just owed Rob Pelinka a debt of life or something like that. The way he made this trade,
yeah,
AKA dark side Rob Lowe.
It's simple math. You don't trade a 25-year-old for a 32-year-old. It's common sense. No matter how good the player is.
If you're getting 2014 Anthony Davis and 2016 Finals Kyrie paired together, okay, probably don't do it, but there's a little bit more leeway. Like, interesting, maybe it's a team build, it's a team fit thing, a big man that can be versatile. You're getting 32-year-old guy nicknamed street clothes in Anthony Davis, and then you're getting Kyrie Irving, who's been very up and down. For Luka, who just dragged you to the finals not even 6 months ago. Not even 6 months ago, he had put you in the finals for the first time in 13 years. I think last time the Mavericks were there. The best player in your franchise's history, arguably, him or Dirk, it's blasphemy. Just blasphemy.
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't help that. My fault. Go ahead, boss. My apologies.
It just shows how bad leadership can literally just blow your franchise up overnight. That's what it is.
We are less than 1,000 days away from being the Las Vegas Mavericks. They are tanking so bad.
I really hope Silver, as much as he's a baffling dummy, figures that out. Like, stop that. Do not allow the Mavericks to leave Dallas. That is a cornerstone franchise. I understand if you want to move a awful team like that has like listen, no offense, Nate, your athletics, except for this offseason, have not done jack. Okay? That's why they're moving to Vegas. Why did the Raiders move to Vegas? Mark Davis is a doofus, and also Oakland is a dump. It's what I think the Raiders to me are still Oakland. They're still LA. I think the AFC West moved the wrong team to LA. I think the Chargers should have stayed in San Diego. The Raiders should have gone back to LA. That's the way it should have gone in an ideal world if I'm a marketing genius. But then again, Mark Davis's haircut says it all. But I will say this straight up. The Mavericks, to me, like I said, are a cornerstone. Like 10, when I think of the basketball teams, there are 10 franchises I think of. One of them is the Mavericks. Why? And you're going to allow an owner to throw a temper tantrum and tank his team on purpose? Like, you should pull a Donald Sterling, find some tape on these people. They're from the South, they're from Texas. I guarantee they said something stupid.
There's something out there.
There's something. There's dirt. Go find it. Because, like, this is ridiculous. If this is all because of the stupid gambling, how they couldn't open a casino, like, this is why certain people with money should not own sports teams, because they let their ego get in the way of this. You know who the best owners in sports are? The ones you never hear about.
The quiet ones with the deep pockets.
Exactly. Last time I checked, the two teams that are in the Super Bowl or were in the Super Bowl, the Hunt family. You hear about the daughter, but not really about the rest of the ownership group. Eagles.
You hear about her for too.
Jeff Lurie pops up for the Eagles autism bike ride and the Super Bowl. That's all he really shows up for. Oh, he's at the games, but he doesn't say much.
What's crazy is this trade is so damn blasphemous that we are flipping some tinfoil hats on and twisting conspiracy theories that we've seen because it doesn't make any other sense to. It doesn't make basketball sense, financial sense. There's no way to make it make sense without twisting the tinfoil 845 degrees to try and make it
exactly. And this is the thing. It's like we always talk about sports conspiracy theories, right? We always talk about like, oh my lord, the refs are the Chiefs, and I'm like, there was probably some smoke there, but who cares? The Eagles dismantled them, right? Then you talk about the NFL, the rigging, the umpires, and the refs in basketball. Everyone's on the take. It's like maybe not, but like this is awful. This is literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. An entire sports market now basically hangs. Dallas sports is just a dumpster fire now, I guess, huh? Because Jerry's running the Cowboys actively into the ground. The Rangers were a one and done in 2023. It was a waste of a World Series title. And then now the Mavs. And what aren't the Dallas Stars are still good though, right? I watched an NHL game.
They're all right. I was in Frisco for work a couple of weeks ago, which is just north of Dallas, like where the Cowboys practice and everything. Nobody there was happy. Like nobody, they didn't want to. Frisco is known as Sports Town USA because it has like 9 professional hockey teams, 12 pro organizations. None of them wanted to talk about the Cowboys or the Mavs. They would talk about anything else. Like this is,
they're excited for Texas Rangers baseball. That's scary.
Like that's about the pinnacle at this point. They're looking at that or the Stars or literally anything else. Like can we get the FCS? Is it FCS championship time again? Like what are we doing?
What's Dallas' MLS team again?
What was that?
FC Dallas.
There we go.
That's what we're in for.
Listen, or we could call our boy Zach Keelman and talk to him about Texas spring football.
You know what? That's what they have to look forward to right now.
I'm ready for UFL. I'm hyped for. I was telling Matt this the other day. Until the playoffs start, I don't care about NBA basketball, and they did it to themselves. I'm a decent amount of casual fans. Listen, I love my Timberwolves, but there's 3 things I hate about the NBA, and I think it's the problem with a lot of casual fans like myself. I'm a casual fan. Fully admit it right now. I used to love it and be obsessed with the sport, but there's 3 things that drove me away. 1, the elitist fan idea. Like if you're not following day to day, there's a lot of fans who look at you like almost like the I talked about on Monday where they almost have they act like they're European soccer fans, but they haven't earned that designation. Where European soccer fans, they're on it. They are watching games at 8:00 in the morning. They know the players. They know the development league guys. They know everyone. Like some NBA fans, they're talking about. I'm like, or they have ridiculous takes that make no sense logically outside of the NBA bubble. And then the last one is that, dude, the game like load management and all this other crap, non-contact, all this stuff. It makes it get like I was talking about this on the show. When we were kids, dude. NBA was a bunch of tough guys playing ball. Basketball is one of the most fun sports to watch live. I love watching it live. It's incredible. The energy is out of control. But what drives me crazy is that when I watch the games on TV, if I can get into it, I'm loving it. Like March Madness, there's a reason people love it every year. Why does NBA not have that? Playoff basketball's got it, but the regular season, there's no umph. I mean, I love watching. If my Wolves are on, I'll watch every time because I know Ant's going to put somebody on a poster. That's it. He's the most entertaining player to watch. But the NBA still markets these dinosaurs like KD, Bron, and Steph. They let Luka get traded to the Lakers for a dumpster. I mean, like this is basically the problem. And then they had an All-Star weekend that was worse than the Pro Bowl.
That game was terrible. The dunk contest was fun. I enjoyed that as well. The events were actually fun this year, but that game situation was. I said it on our show. If put the fries in the bag, bro, was a real life thing, that's what that All-Star game was. Like, just go back.
That is the best quote ever. Can we clip that? That was perfect.
It's clipped on Instagram. Go check it out. But I will say one thing I found, what I thought was interesting, I saw that I've been thinking about with NBA. I think part of the reason it doesn't appeal as much is it's kind of a rich person sport now when you just look at the people that get into it, like through the AAU circuits, all of the extra stuff to get to the NBA. You don't see as many.
When it's grassroots to the reverse, which is what cracks me up.
There's not nearly as many from the trenches to superstardom. The LeBron story, like there's not nearly as much of that because to get to
Kevin Garnett, same thing. Like
you don't. It's going through the. It's not quite the same. You don't like. You love those ones in football. We look at I think it was Josh Jacobs sleeping on the floor going into college, and guys sleeping out of their car. Like those from the rags to riches stories, everyone loves it as much as it's a
Well,
cliche.
I mean, there's like one.
It's-
like, I mean, I'm not even trying to brag. Like, Ant Edwards is one of those dudes.
I know what I'm saying, like as a whole though in
Yeah.
basketball, you don't see it nearly as much.
The
A lot of them
culture is the grinded out, like hard nosed culture that basketball had for its development when I was a kid. That's when we were kids. That's gone. That is
it's
gone.
it's
been killed.
AAU circuit. It's very
Like-
buttoned up almost to a fault.
Okay, so my cousin, exception, probably one of the best basketball players I've ever seen live at his age. I've only been to I haven't been to a lot of high school games because I used to cover it for my high school, but my high school was terrible at basketball. He's better now as a freshman playing JV than 80% of the dudes I've ever watched in my life play high school ball live. My cousin's already going through 3 different high AAU coaches for the spring now after he's just played high school. I'm like, this is nuts. And he goes to Greg Olson's alma mater. He doesn't go to a small school. So like it's not like it's I'm talking to this kid about it. It's all ball every day, and it's a culture thing. But yeah, you look at how AAU culture, like I don't know who half these dudes are. They're talking about top ranked dude in the AAU circuit. I'm like, bro, this dude's in high school. This chick's in high school. Why are we like going crazy? It's like, just wait till they go to Duke or Syracuse or South Carolina. Why are we overblowing this right now? It's just the whole basketball culture. It's the reason why I think it'll never surpass NFL and why MLB is catching up. MLB is catching up because it's becoming the everyman sport again. You see how many dudes who are just coming from a blue-collar family or from some shack in the middle of nowhere, or they're coming from some town that doesn't even have an actual baseball in the Dominican, in the Caribbean, or you have dudes playing for, like Andrew Jones, who came from Africa. Any background can play in baseball. There's no AAU. Like AAU baseball is kind of a joke, honestly. You can get scooped off of it, but unless you have a good high school tape and you play college, like it doesn't really matter. So everyone's got an equal shot, and I think that's why even at the grassroots level, I'm telling you right now, in 4 years the NBA doesn't adjust and basketball culture doesn't adjust. Baseball is going to surpass it again.
What I think is also weird with basketball too is it's the ultimate social media sport. And I say that in like it's a clippable thing. The dunks, the posters, the Steph Curry 3-point shots, the bounce pass through 4 people's legs. It's a highlight game, not a
crossover.
Or the BS Jokic with 23.85 seconds down on the shot clock and he heaves it over his head and it goes in. Like it's not a fundamental game that can be. So the people that do that stuff are the ones that you see popping off, as opposed to the fundamentalist, which no one. Why do that when all you see growing up is the dunks and that sort of thing? So what gets you recruited, what gets you paid is that freaky stuff. Zion Williamson, the fact that he's a good basketball player is overlooked. We just remember that he's 290-500 pounds and is able to dunk with his elbows at 6'6". So I think the fundamentalist part of the game not being pushed is also not helping. The ability to bounce past the mid-range turnaround, all those little things just aren't pushed for analytical, financial reasons, that sort of thing.
You know what's crazy? We always talked, it was such a meme and it was such a joke. They made like an Uncle Drew movie in the Uncle Drew commercials. But can we talk about the fact that dude always said, it's all about getting buckets. It's not about the fancy moves. It's about scoring baskets. That's the point of the game. Yeah. Exactly. And I think basketball as a whole has lost that whole thing. Like I can't, unless my team is on, I don't care. We were at, my buddy took me out for beers. You guys know I had a family tragedy a few weeks ago. My buddy, about a week before it happened, goes, "Hey, let me take you out for beers. We'll go get some wings. We'll chill. We're at a sports bar." The only thing going on was a Pacer. It was a Friday. It was the weekend before. It was it was championship game weekend, but there's nothing on Saturday or Sunday. I think it was just so I'm sitting there. We're watching Blazers Hornets. Awful game. I could care less. I think half the stars were sitting. I think the only star who was in the game I recognized, besides Brandon Miller, was Josh Okogie, who's played for my Timberwolves. So, LaMelo wasn't playing. He might have. I didn't see him. The only thing I noticed was everyone was wearing Kobe's, and it was a terrible game. That's all I noticed. So, that's not good. Like, last year was the first year I bought MLB Extra Innings. I bought the whole package, so I had every team, except for, obviously, Yankees, Mets, and Red Sox, because the Northeast sucks. But I genuinely enjoyed it. I actually legit watched a Padres-Braves game on a random Wednesday night, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was before, I believe it was before Acuna got hurt, but either way, NFL games. We watch Red Zone. We can watch a random Sunday night game with two teams we don't root for. Probably the best game I watched this year was Bucks Falcons. Could give a crap about either team. Curdy threw for 500 yards. That game was out of control. It was a Thursday. I didn't even gamble on that game. I think I did anytime touchdown because me and Chris were making a joke about it. But I think the lost thing is the NBA has not realized that social media, only playing for social media only gets you so far. You need to have substance behind the flash. Whereas baseball is all substance, no flash. NFL is the perfect hybrid of both. Basketball is all flash, no substance. And that's why they're suffering.
The invention of this type of bag. The invention of talking about their bag, that killed the sport. Like, it should not matter if you have a bag, whether you score beautifully like Prime Kobe or you score like Giannis where you don't even use your left hand, you dunk on people or spin layup. It shouldn't matter. It's get the ball in the hole. And that's what should matter. Should be celebrated. But there's a point people were denying that Giannis was that good early on because he couldn't shoot free throws, couldn't shoot threes, couldn't shoot left-handed.
Who cares?
And it almost
good at one thing.
Like nullified the fact that he's a 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Like, right now, the 3 best players in the world are him, Jokic, and arguably Luka. That third spot, SGA. Like, there's a little bit of there's an argument there, but
even the tier 2 guys, the guys right below him, Ant, Tatum, throw one more, maybe Brunson. Like,
and everyone you just named, there is one of those guys that's flashy, and that's Ant Edwards because his vertical defies gravity. Everybody else is substance, and yet that's why no one cares, unfortunately.
And his substance and flash.
To a fault. Sometimes he can't go 10 of 34 like he's done a few times. I need him to tone down just a little bit.
Well, I get that. But then again, everybody goes 10 of 10. It's just it's occasional with it.
I need him to quit shooting threes, but that's because I'm selfish.
He also has the most threes by a guy his age ever.
And I think he's leading the league in the 3-point attempts this year by a comfortable margin too. It's like, sir, I need you to dunk on people like you are trying to destroy their soul.
I mean, listen, he just took Chet Holmgren out of the picture with that last one.
And I need more of that because it amuses me. But in all seriousness, you look at the top of the game, it's all substance, but they don't push the flash because it's not.
The one thing I think people want to forget is playoff Ant last year was all mid-range jumpers and layups. There was a lot of
they got to the Western Conference Finals.
Exactly, because that's
how he carried Rudy Gobert on his back to the Western Conference Finals.
You know what? Rudy was clutch in Game 7 against the Nuggets. I think he had like 15. He had 2 of the biggest shots of the game. What was a turnaround where he hucked it 15 feet over Jokic's head and somehow went in? Crazy. But I digress. We've been ranting about this for 32 minutes. The NBA has a problem.
Baseball is back.
Yeah, baseball is back. We got tons of NFL news too. But
also, by the way, ESPN and MLB will end their national TV coverage after this season. I'm not sure that matters.
3 years early too, if I'm not mistaken. Like 3 years.
What ESPN just doesn't see baseball as like a marketable thing anymore, or?
No,
they're actually saying like they're not going to have those nationally televised ESPN games anymore. So the MLB will.
They don't pick the right games. That's the problem. They pick all these stupid matchups.
The E and ESPN stands for entertainment, and they definitely lean towards that primarily. So I think
they
just who picks that up.
I'm looking forward to anybody. Fox, great. I'll do it. Fox will put on production.
Going to make a killing if they pull that off.
Well, here's the thing: is like I used to love Fox Saturday Showcase. Was my favorite growing up. I used to watch I remember as a kid I watched like Brewers Pirates because I got to see Jason Kendall versus Ben Sheets was the pitcher at that point for the Brewers. I remember it was a NL Central matchup. Not even that great. I was a Diamondbacks fan who liked the Yankees because of A-Rod and my Diamondbacks were awful. It was like 04, 03, whatever it was. But I would watch random games. You know why? Because it was fun. I enjoyed it. I love seeing random teams. But hell, I'll watch Nate's A's versus the damn Astros over.
We're bringing back our gold uniforms.
Please bring back the black unis. That's what I want.
That's a nice too. I like those.
I'm glad you kind of mentioned that how it used to be back then when baseball was more towards the front of the coverage. I still remember. I think it was like 2005, 6, 7, somewhere in that range. Well before Nate was born. The Yankees and the Red Sox were playing 5 games in 3 days, I think it was. It was something like that. It was like the first time they'd ever done that.
I remember this. It was yesterday. My dad's a Red Sox fan. I remember.
Wall-to-wall coverage on that. They were showing video of the guys getting lunch between games. Like, it was such a prominent part because they were both top of the AL East, some of the best teams. the rivalry. We know all of that. Wall-to-wall coverage, nonstop. Now, if that happens, it's a flip note.
Well, here's the thing: it's like, give me Diamondbacks, Dodgers. They hate each other. They 80% of their games end in a fight or a warning.
And it'll just
Give
be
me
a flip
Braves,
note.
Mets. Give me Phillies, Mets. Give me Astros, Rangers. Like, those are all rivalries. Mariners, Mariners, Astros. Same thing. It's like there's rivalries everywhere. Just gotta look for it.
They
And
just got to promote it a bit.
Marlins Ace.
yeah, dude. I'll take Marlins A's. I get to see Brett Rooker versus J Rod. I'm down for it.
How is that a rivalry?
It's
Because we're the
NL.
two cheapest teams. No, Marlins and Ace. Marlins and Ace.
No, nobody. Nate. That's Nate. It's not like football where like two moron teams hit each other. Like you're like the Panthers Giants. Baseball, it's bad. Okay, but the one thing about baseball the NFL has and basketball has, even if two crappy teams play each other, somebody's still got to score points. In baseball, when two crappy teams play each other, God, it's awful.
Or it's 19-17.
Which is
depending on-
honestly okay, but you can't play Russian roulette with that if you're a TV person executive. So all I'm saying is I'm happy. ESPN's priorities are so out of whack with their content. I'm okay with them giving it up because Fox, CBS, NBC, somebody will pick it up and make it great.
a
Instant.
streaming service maybe instead picks it up. So
Hey,
the
Amazon,
broadcasting rights
do it.
goes.
Why not? They keep trying to steal everyone else's crap. Go get baseball.
Netflix is trying to steal NFL's stuff.
Yeah, I hope to God that doesn't happen. I'm really trying to not have Netflix ruin my Sundays too. The
Max
most
has done a
useless
really good job
streaming
with
service
sports.
I have in my house.
Buffering. Please wait.
Yeah. Okay. I've watched Netflix 4 times since the beginning of 2024. You know what they were? Jake Paul fight.
Boo.
I watched the Gentleman again with Matthew McConaughey and what's the Charlie Hunnam. The Mike Tyson fight. I said Mike Tyson. Sunday football on Christmas, and then I think my friend had it on randomly. We were all hanging out drinking. He had like some random series on. I think it was like his wife was like watching like Love Is Blind or something like that. One of those weird like shows. Whatever. Only times I watched Netflix since 2024. I passed off the billing to my parents. It's still under my name. But I'm like, I'm not paying for some. I'm about to cut this. It's stupid to me. Like I watch Peacock. Shout out Matt. I watch Paramount. Shout out Trev. And Hulu. Shout out my sister. And YouTube TV. Shout out myself.
Hey, there you go. You got the most
All right, we got
expensive
one.
There you
We
go.
got one.
Have a boss.
And MLB.TV. Shout out me. Listen.
Hey.
Yeah, like I listen. I just pay for the two most expensive services.
No, I was like, you would think you pay for the cheapest.
Well, no,
ones, but-
listen. I never give my parents crap because, like you know, like they're like, oh, we'll take on it. I'm like, oh, great, because you know, $89 a month I got to pay for live TV. Chris is like, how much? Chris is like, dude, like, could we share an account? I'm like, I don't know, look into it, see if we can get away with it legally. I'm like, I'll split the bill with you because it's just me and my dad who watch it.
My mom has YouTube TV, and I have an account on her account. I don't.
That's what I'm trying to think. I used to do that. Like, I used to help Kevin pay for his, and then I was like, there are too many times where like his brother or his dad would be watching. I get booted off. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm buying my own.
You know, I mean, it's just like she has her own account. I have my account, and I just watch mine. She watches hers. So it's
Yeah.
So
There's only two of you watching because usually you and your wife are watching the same program.
yeah, you split it with Chris, $40 each, and you just make him a profile.
Well, because he was complaining because he was having to stream things off his phone. I'm like, that just sucks, man. It was also great seeing Chris in person. He's taller than I thought he would be.
How tall is he?
He's about maybe a half an inch shorter than me.
He looks like such a little guy.
He's just skinny,
Yeah.
but he's a fun dude. His mom's cool. His uncles are awesome. Gave me a real Philadelphia experience. I mean, there was one time we were totally illegally parked waiting for a cheesesteak outside of we went to Joe's Steak and Soda Shack or whatever the hell we were at, but it was a cool spot. He's got a cool spot. I got to meet the famous Luna.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of makes
that
sense.
That cat just roams the damn neighborhood. Doesn't come back until like nighttime.
Yeah, that cat's for the streets.
That cat is
I always picture
for the
Chris either
streets.
being like 4'3" or like 6'7". So that makes sense. I did not
Well,
think he'd be.
we were gonna
that
make a
tall.
joke. We're gonna have him stand on top of his sofa. I was gonna take a selfie with him. just to mess with everybody. But then like I took the video with me and him walking down Broad Street and kind of gave it away. Or the one of me and him dancing to Blow the Whistle. That one hasn't been released to screens yet. It might go out tonight. Or I might just do like, hey, it's been a week and it still doesn't feel real kind of post. But all right, we got NFL news. Philadelphia Eagles have a new offensive coordinator. Kevin Patullo.
Who?
He is our passing game. He's our passing game coordinator for the last 7 years. 6 years.
He's gonna frustrate the heck out of you next year. I know it. I feel like for some reason
He basically runs the same offense as Kellen Moore.
I know, but
this is the first continuity Hurts has had since he was at Alabama. He's been there as long as Jalen has. So to me, I'm okay with it because
as long as you are,
he's a first-time play caller. But like everyone's like, oh, it's a bad idea. I'm like, everyone was a first-time play caller at some point. Who cares? It's only a big story because it's the defending champs. But he's also inheriting a Lamborghini for an offense. He's got Smitty, AJ, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and Super Bowl MVP calling snaps. Oh, like Jahan Dotson is a slot receiver. And they're probably going to go out and get somebody in the draft too, because that's just what they do. So if I'm Kevin Patullo got the best case scenario, honestly.
And I mean, Eagles had two moves. It was either promote him or let him walk and go to New Orleans and have to find somebody else. So I think, like you said, just bringing somebody within that's been with the offense for a long time, continuity.
Who knows what to do, who knows everyone's strengths. AJ Brown was like singing this dude's praises. So
it sounds like
Brian Johnson.
Anything's better. Nate, you or me calling plays better than Brian Johnson.
It sounds like it was just a very positive and safe move.
Yeah, listen, when your defense is that damn good, you can do that.
Yeah.
Let's not act like Kellen Moore was a rocket scientist here, okay? It was a good offense with elite talent.
I'm pro promotion. Like sometimes promoting guys, the simplest thing is always sometimes the best answer. Someone who wants to get promoted to get more money. I always support that. So
there's no need. This guy knows the system. He knows the players. There's no need to bring in some new guy who's gonna mix things up. I hate that. Like I'm very happy they just went with a guy who's kind of like in the back room. His interviews, everything he's seen, he kind of seems like a little different than Brian. He kind of seems more Sirianni mixed with like a Kellen Moore. Like he's a little goofy, but he's a little more Paisan. I don't know. He fits the vibe with the team. I'm for it. The fact that AJ signed off on it, and I guarantee they asked Jalen straight up before they hired him. I guarantee it. He's the franchise quarterback. I guarantee Howie and Nick sat in there and goes, so we doing this? Cool. Yeah. All right. He's hired. I'm okay with it. Kevin Patullo, new Eagles OC. And they also brought in the kid from Carolina. He was Miami last year. He was their passing game coordinator. This year, I think he was with Carolina. I cannot remember his name right now. But he's our new passing game coordinator. I like that move even more because what he did for Tua last year. So, Nick, you look up that guy's name for me? Appreciate it.
Parks Frazier.
Thank you. I knew it was somebody. I remember because I think he also did coach for the Colts for a little bit there, Deej.
Yeah, with the Jeff Saturday, he was the offensive coordinator for the second half of that season during the Saturday fiasco. So
the Saturday,
you can't really learn anything from that. I mean, you were asking him to cook with a rock and dirt.
Hey, the caveman made it work.
I
love that one. I do. Other NFL news. I feel like I'm missing a big one, and it's like hitting my. I feel like I'm missing something. What happened the last 24 hours? I'm like missing.
I mean, I have one. I don't know if it's this, but there's apparently a lot of rumors going around that the Jets have been contacting the Titans about the number 1 pick because they want to trade up for Cam Ward.
Cam Ward to the Jets. Let's go. I'm all for
Jordan
it.
Travis season.
No.
Justin Fields season.
To the
God, no.
Not opposed to it. Not opposed.
Yeah.
No, Matthew, no.
Yeah.
By the way,
they're apparently talking about possibly doing a trade for Olave. You put in Fields with Olave and Garrett Wilson again. I'm not opposed. Listen, there's a 90% chance that the Jets are going to go with some sort of veteran stopgap quarterback. So my options are Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, and Jameis Winston. So that's why I'm not opposed to.
That'll be fun.
All I'm saying is, we start our scouting series for the draft. We start on Monday. So, boys, over the weekend, I want some tape on quarterbacks, okay? We all know about number 1 and 2. Let's do 3, 4, 5, and 1 honorable mention. That's what we're going to run as usual. I'm going to tell you right now, my number 1 is Cam Ward. And the video of him and Shedeur working out the last couple weeks, talking smack to each other.
It's so funny. I love watching that. I love
Cam
watching.
Ward is literally trying to get this dude to fight him the way he's talking to him. He's like, "You quit on your team." He's like, "Bro, no, I didn't." Because what actually happened was Mario told him to sit down because 1, he had to figure out if he had a quarterback in Emory Williams, which he does not, and 2, Cam Ward is gonna be the number 1 overall pick if teams are smart, and they'd be the first number 1 overall pick from Miami in years. Nate, you're not muted, buddy.
Well, hi.
Mahalo.
Aloha.
All I'm saying is that the Jets trade up to the number 1 pick makes me happy because I think Cam Ward in New York would be awesome.
I think it'd be a good
Matt,
pairing.
I would personally buy you that jersey.
I think it'd be a very good pairing with Aaron Glenn's leadership mentality. But listen, let's face the facts. I saw somebody post this, and it makes a lot of sense. You either trade your future and put all of your eggs in Cam Ward's basket and hope that he's your franchise quarterback, or it fails and you're still the Jets at the end of the day.
Yep, it's a win. It's a win-win. Either way, you're like, okay.
Yeah, either way, it's great. And
you still have a moron as an owner, but hey, listen, at least you took a shot.
Either way, it's great, and we finally break the curse, or we're still the same old Jets.
What is the Sprouse twins say from
the goddamn Jets?
Goddamn Jets. I love that segment back when we were in college with KFC. That was my favorite segment on Barstool.
Yeah.
I think when I look at the quarterbacks this year, what I think is very interesting is I think they're all going to be dependent on where they go. I don't think there's any of them that you could just plug in and they're going to be that dude right away. I think their skill sets and what they have where they go is going to make a big deal. Cam Ward to the Jets and the Giants, for example, I think that makes sense. With the coordinators they have, the offense they run, the weapons, the way Cam Ward plays, a lot of the extending the plays, the rocket arm, the mobility, the almost unnecessarily calmness when he's moving around and extending plays where it almost like shows some urgency, you're about to get hit. I think that's going to work really well with the Jets, the Giants, some of those teams. For Shedeur, for example, I think the way he holds the ball, he's incredibly accurate. I think he reads the defense well. He's not as much of an athlete. The perfect fit for him, I think, is the Raiders. If the Raiders can get Shedeur without having to trade up, if they can get him at 6, that is the perfect fit, and they are set. Cam Ward to the Giants or the Jets, I think, makes the most sense. The Browns should not touch either one of them. They are not ready for that. They need to just be like, we'll do this next year. The Titans, they kind of the same thing. Like, what are you going to do? Just replace Will Levis right now and then still have nothing to work with? Like, your team is imploding. They need to try and trade that pick. They need the Jets to take the bait on that one. So I think, in my opinion, Shedeur to the Raiders makes the most sense, and then Ward to the Giants or the Jets. I think those are the two best fits where they'll get the most out of what they need at quarterback.
As a Cam Ward fan, as a Miami fan who wants him to succeed in the league, there's only 3 teams I want to draft him: Titans, Jets, or Raiders. I don't want him anywhere near the debacle that is the Giants organization or the burning toaster oven that is the Browns. I refuse.
Browns are a bad situation for every rookie quarterback this year. No one deserves to go there.
At least with the Jets, you have an owner who's willing to throw dollars at everything. With the Raiders, they're kind of this weird team. I love Pete Carroll's calmness. Chip Kelly with Cam Ward. Oh, that offense is scoring 35 a game. It's going to be fun.
I'm going to say it too with the Raiders. I think both of them can work there. I like Shedeur a little more because there's also the Tom Brady connection. That since he's been a mentor to him since he's been young. They play weirdly similarly because neither one's really an athlete. As surprising that is to say about a Deion Sanders disciple, he can't really move all that well. Relies on accuracy, timing, that sort of thing, not freakishly gifted. And you give someone that plays like Shedeur Sanders, Brock Bowers, who creates that type of separation, owns the middle of the field with the outside weapons they could bring in. That's where I think the best fit is. The reason I like Cam Ward to the Giants is I think him and Malik Neighbors will feed families and Tyrone Tracy. I get what you're saying. The Giants are a mess. They got some work to do. But
also, I don't want to have to see my Eagles defensive line kill Cam Moore for the next 5 years until you demand.
or you don't want to risk him being every bit that you hope he is, and then him causing problems for your Eagles.
It won't matter because the Giants are literally worse than the Jets now. So
we said that about the commies last year. So either way,
listen, about the commies, I will eat that, but I also was very high on Jaden Daniels. So
we all love Jaden Daniels around here. I just need another cheese.
Terry is still better than Malik Neighbors and
supporting.
Listen, the supporting cast they brought in Washington is a mile ahead of what the Giants can do this year.
They also brought in 33 new players in the offseason. We haven't got to the offseason yet. I'm saying as far as you look at personnel and coaching, Brian Dabble with him, that would be the situation to make it work. Compared to the Browns, where your career ends as soon as you're drafted, unfortunately.
I'd rather him play for the Browns and the Giants just because I don't want him anywhere near that ugly blue and red.
Dude, that's fair. I'm just talking about on paper too.
Listen, it's just me for my own sanity. Because there's only been 2 Giants players ever that were good Hurricanes or good Giants players. It's Antrell Roll and Jeremy Shockey.
Had a good 3 minutes.
Who?
Kenny Phillips had a good 3 minutes at safety for him.
That's true.
He was good on Madden for 2 years.
But yeah, all I think of is DJ Flowers.
Yeah. Looking at Kevin's comment, I'm going to say no to committing to the tank. I'm going to say if they think Cam Ward is that guy, then I hope they trade a boatload to get him. But there is probably that 90% chance that they're going to be idiots. And they're probably either going to sign somebody like Jameis Winston or Justin Fields or Jacoby Brissett, keep Tyrod Taylor. So I'm going to go with A, but I'm hoping for B.
Other news about the Giants. There's now a rumor that the Giants could be a suitor for possibly a Matthew Stafford trade if the Rams don't want to commit.
Terrible idea.
But they want the 3.
I love it. Chaos in New York. I'm for it.
This is why I don't like it.
Eagles own Stafford. I'm totally for it.
I don't like it for the Giants only because that trade tells me that the Giants are saying we're going to win now. And the Giants are nowhere near ready to win.
Nope,
now.
not even close.
Exactly.
Even I know that.
They are close. They are close defensively to having that kind of a caliber of a defense. They just need to address the secondary. The pass rush is great. The linebackers, when Okereke healthy, is good. I mean, Tibbs is not a bad edge rusher, but he needs to step up.
He's a one-trick pony. He got one.
Thank you. He took the words out of my mouth, boss.
Well, Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns is going to be great. If Tibbs can have a good year, that's going to be phenomenal for him. But the linebackers are good. They just need secondary. They need safety. They need corners to really spruce up the secondary.
A smarter ownership.
They don't have. Problem is they don't have a franchise running back. Maybe Tracy's the guy, but they still might need a running back to help him at least. They still need a bunch of offensive linemen because Evan Neal is terrible. Theo Johnson's question mark wasn't bad, wasn't amazing, but possible. But they need 2 more receivers. So the thing with that is that anybody that trades for Matt Stafford is in a win now, and within the 2 years left on this deal, they're going to go win a Super Bowl. And the Giants, I just don't think are going to be win now this year or possibly maybe next year, depending on the offseason, the drafts. But definitely this year, they're not win now. So I just don't think it makes sense for a trade perspective.
There's no team that makes sense for Matthew Stafford more than the Rams, where he's already at. When you look at it, it's where are you going to trade him?
They want the Giants 3rd overall.
Okay, no way. We're talking win now teams need a quarterback. There's 2? It's the Rams and.
There's no way in the world that Matt Stafford is worth a top 5 pick in this year's draft.
Everyone who's a win now team is already established. Maybe Pittsburgh. But are they really going to want to bring another aging veteran? They just had to deal with Russ, as corny ass. They want to do it again?
And they're picking.
I'll make a bold.
So it's
I'll make a bold prediction that if the Rams do trade Stafford, that they replace him with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's so funny. I think you know what? Honestly, I think Rodgers
that doesn't happen.
Here's my thing. Rodgers does a 1-year deal with the Raiders, and they draft some guy in the 2nd round. They pick up running back.
Let's be honest. We all know where Aaron Rodgers is going. There's only one stop you make after the Jets if you're a backup quarterback, and that is Minnesota. He will be the Minnesota Vikings quarterback.
And they're going to win the division, and then he's going to throw he's going to get picked off by Quinyon Mitchell in the NFC Championship game. It's what's going to happen.
You know why it makes sense?
He still has to send a dick pic first, too. We got to follow every step of the
trade. He's going to send Shailene Woodley? Who cares? That's their personal business. Or the witch
he didn't send a dick pic, but he did have a story come out about how he was a really terrible companion to his last previous ex-girlfriend. So it's kind of like,
Was that the blue-haired witch?
possibly.
All right, so we're
But,
running parallel paths, I guess. But like, we need to follow this step for step. He has to tear a bicep. Like,
We
we're
don't
getting
want
close.
step for step. History doesn't completely repeat itself. It's just similar.
It rhymes. We need it to rhyme a little bit more. I'm trying to avoid step story steals welfare money. I'm trying to avoid that one.
Listen,
So we're gonna get the other ones
If that's
first.
going to happen, who's the next Browns quarterback with a really disgusting scandal who's going to get a fully guaranteed contract? And it blow up in their
Justin Tucker.
face.
Oh shoot.
Browns next kicker. Here we go.
No,
He's up to
more
16 now. 16
Oh, he's trying to break Watson's record. What's Watson at? 23, 24?
Yeah, something like that.
Hey,
I-
hold
let's
on,
be
no.
honest,
He's going for the crown.
Let's be honest. Justin Tucker may not be playing football in 2020.
I will state this 1,000 times. Everything that's happened to Cleveland Browns over the past 3 seasons is football karma for what they did to Baker. The man gets them to a playoff game, wins them a playoff game
They were up
with
20
a box of screws and Nick Chubb. Kevin Stefanski is one of the worst play callers in football, and he literally gets covered up by the fact either everyone's injured or he has Nick Chubb, who when he's healthy is a generational running back. I don't want to hear it anymore. The Browns deserve everything they've gotten. Jimmy Haslam is a moron. He tries to be Jerry Jones, but he's really Jenny Jones. I don't. That's not even or Jim Jones. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's a knockoff.
All in.
You
You were 75% right there. You
flies
were
right into the
75% right.
Yeah,
It wasn't
flies
because
right
they
into
moved
the-
on from
He
Baker
doesn't fly
Mayfield.
high, he flies
It's
right
because of who they moved on to him for. They'd have made it. If they'd have replaced him with somebody that made sense, okay. But when you do what they did, that's the football.
with a fully
They would've-
guaranteed contract. My favorite
That's
story.
what I'm saying. Like
I
what they
read
did it
about that.
for.
Exactly.
If
My
it's
favorite
anybody else, there's no football karma here. But because you did it with that and what you did there, that's football karma. They deserve that.
My favorite part of that whole story is how every NFL GM was Andrew Barry who made that move.
There's some say it was him, some say it was the owner who pushed and said get it done. Like there's
Either way.
there's someone saying it was the president Podesta, I think. So
I guarantee everyone from Mickey Loomis down in New Orleans to Howie out in Philly to who's the Rams GM. F them picks. What's that guy's name?
Snead.
Les Snead. I guarantee they all
yeah.
gave him a ringing for that contract.
Oh yeah,
God
there was,
bless.
like,
Nobody has
everybody.
given a fully guaranteed deal since. Because
It was Barry,
I
by the way.
understand-
That one I left.
fully guaranteed. Listen, I understand NFL players need to get paid, but the way the Browns did it was like, hey, we're going to slowly ease it towards guys get paid more. Browns, let's just drop a nuclear bomb on it.
On a guy who hasn't played in over a year with legal issues over his head and who was on
And
a
his
contract he just
fundamentals
signed that he
are
had never
off.
played for. He signed an extension with Houston, never played it down on it, and they ripped it up and gave him that new contract. Just
You know my favorite thing I observed this year is I watched 6 Deshaun Watson games or 5, whatever the hell he played, and then I watched a couple from last year.
You torture yourself. Damn.
No, I just was curious because I read a comment on TikTok. Somebody said his mechanics, they come back for like 5 plays and they're gone again. During the Eagles game, there was a 3-drive stretch where Watson couldn't miss. It was just the receivers were dropping and nobody was getting open. I was like, oh, this is 2017 Watson again or 2019 Watson. And I'm just like, okay, this is terrifying. Then, throws a pick, airmails a ball. It's like the mechanics just come back for a sprint and duck. It's like that video game character who literally has enough stamina to do one attack and then they're gone. That's literally what I felt like with his mechanics. They're gone. It was a weird thing to witness. So I think the year of taking off from the Texans killed his career because his entire his mechanics are gone.
I say that whole situation. I think mentally he is cooked because now he's overthinking it on top of it because he was never perfect mechanically, but he was good enough to make it work with his athletic ability, his natural arm
His
talent.
gut, let it
And
rip
now
and
it's
roll.
That was
So
gut
what's the
strong.
best-
Now he's questioning himself. Mentally, he's cooked, and now physically, he can't do what he used to do either. He's had 3
What's the
ACL
best thing for
surgeries.
Watson, retire.
Like, you don't think maybe like a stint as like the backup or like maybe
Go
a
to the
different
Go
X-Men,
join
the
Henry
UFL.
Ruggs.
Go to the UFL.
Go throw touchdowns
listen,
at Henry
we'll take-
Ruggs for the mean machine.
DJ? No. Hey, he is eligible to be released next year.
That is crazy. I just thought, he's only gonna be 26 years
about
old, which is nuts.
I Look,
He still runs a 4.3 too, guaranteed.
Yeah,
from
listen,
a
if he's
football
even in,
standpoint, I bring him back. It's just the
I'd give him a
characters.
tryout. Why not? Be like, even if the dude runs a 4.37, I'm like, all right, I need you to run 3 routes a game.
Yeah, but he killed someone. That's why.
So
And
did
a dog.
Dante Stallworth. What's your point?
I didn't want him in the league either.
I don't know.
I'm just saying the NFL does not give a crap. They
Nothing
clearly
they
don't.
should. I'm speaking from DJ's morality.
Oh,
right?
listen,
Which is
no,
the
from
opposite of the NFL.
Jared's point of view, I agree with you. I'm just saying the NFL doesn't care.
He will be in the NFL.
When you
before
run a
20.
4.3, are you sorry? Great, go.
Runs a 4.3 and blocks well. Like he's an active
Oh.
blocker for someone of his size on top.
Yeah,
He will
it's
be
those
fine.
Alabama receivers. They all want to just take your head off.
Oh, him on the Eagles? Oh,
Well, Smitty is his boy, so.
He's
And
gonna
the
end up on the
slot
Chiefs,
too?
and everyone's gonna hate it. And by everyone,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that'd be fitting. It's the jail Chiefs now because, I mean, between Hunt and Rashid Rice when he comes back, and I mean, the Andy Reid's kids weren't Saints either. Rest in peace, the one who passed away, obviously. There's a few others. Like there was a thread about how disgusting. This is my favorite Super Bowl lead up, by the way. I was reading this. I think I brought this up on the show. Somebody's like, "Oh, the Eagles franchise is disgusting. I hope the Chiefs kill 'em." And then some Eagles fan goes, "Do you really want to go there?" Okay, and starts listing off all the horrible things. And I'm not kidding. It was 7 tweets long, like full paragraph of like things the Chiefs players did. And I'm like, I didn't even know half of these. I'm like, oh my Lord.
Oh, we gotta find that. We gotta find that.
Yeah, I think I saved it. I'll try to find it for you. Either way, it was like one of those. It was like, oh God, that's awful. But it was some. Obviously, the top 3 offenders were Rashid Rice, Tyreek Hill, and Kareem Hunt. But
Chris
it was
Jones
just,
to that Indianapolis field when he ran that 40-yard dash in the combine needs to be put on there too. That's assault with a deadly weapon.
also what? Everyone's like, oh, the Bills fan. So funny. I talked to Bill. I have a couple of Bills fans I know, and I talked to them like you idiots traded that pick to give the Chiefs Xavier Worthy, the best receiver in the playoffs yardage wise. You're idiots. You drafted
Keon Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman's a good number 3 or number 2 receiver. Worthy with one more year of honing is going to be a bona fide number 1. The Bills are idiots. Brandon Beane is too smart for his own good. Sometimes you don't overthink it. Howie Roseman goes, okay, best corners available. Quinion Mitchell, go on down. Oh, the Packers are dumb enough to let us take him pass again on Cooper DeJean. All right, let's go get a bona fide stud at nickel. Cool. Oh, this edge rusher ran a 4.37 out of I think it was Houston Christian. All right, we'll go grab him. Oh, he sacks Mahomes in the Super Bowl. It's not the biggest thing about the draft. I was correcting DJ. You're a draft guy like me, so you'll get this. Sometimes it's not rocket science, guys. When those signs on the wall, you take it.
The worst thing you can do with Jim is overthink it.
Exactly.
Where did you guys draft Quinion again?
Overthinking.
What pick did you draft Quinion again?
23rd.
That's just insane. I remember it was back
Cooper at 40.
I know, but Quinion at 20-something when he was like the second or third corner taking is just insane.
It was the second best defensive player on the board on my big board.
I had a number 1, but yeah.
I had one of the edge rushers, but
I campaigned for almost 2 months straight for him to go to Indianapolis, and he was sitting there at 15 just to take a guy with a broken neck. It's still in writing, so this is no hearsay. Like, it's all in writing.
Well, also one of the guys I had on my big board that he was kind of boomer bust a lot was Cam Kitchens. I was banging the gong for him all draft. And everyone's like, oh, he ran a slow 40. I'm like, yeah, but he makes plays. And the Rams saw he made plays.
I didn't see him get drafted. So rounds 4 and 5 are coming, and I'm praying that the team might draft him. And they start taking Isaiah Davis, and I'm like, what are you doing? Cam Kitchens. And Jared's like, he was drafted last round, right?
Dude, me too. Yeah.
I remember I'm at the gym, and you're like, oh, why do you want Cam Kitchens? I'm like, dude, he got drafted last night, dude.
Dude, I was watching the entire draft, all of the rounds, and I'm like, I don't remember this guy. Unless there was that one bathroom break I took for 30 seconds. It must have been. I'm like, I don't remember seeing this guy get drafted.
My one thing is we people got to chill about the Jared Verse butt kissing session. He had a great first half of the season and then just didn't do jack into the playoffs.
Never give the year.
I think it's
off one vote. It was a joke of a vote.
the magnitude of what they lost in Aaron Donald, and
he's not even the best defensive lineman on his team.
It was Fisk, huh?
Fisk is the better player. But here's the thing: is the biggest robbery to me is like I get Pat Surtain a great season, but Zach Bond put up better numbers than Luke Kuechly did in 2015 when he won the damn award. So that's the one that annoyed me. The fact that he came in 4th at Defensive Player of the Year when he played out of his damn mind. He was the best linebacker on the field the entire season.
He should have been the clear second very comfortably. I still would have given it to Patrick Sam, but Zach Bond was in that conversation. None of the edge rushers did.
It's because he doesn't have name recognition. Now everyone's going to try to overpay him, but apparently he's the one out of the 3 big Philly defensive free agents. He's the one that they think is going to come back without question. Now, so if you want odds of the clubhouse, 50-50 Josh Sweat, because Josh Sweat's been underpaid his entire career, and he's a hell of a defensive player. Milton Williams is gone. I will never have to root for Milton Williams again. That man is gone. He's going to be a starter somewhere else. He's going to get paid. He was wearing a Clutch Sports hoodie when he was doing an interview. My man is going to be getting that paper. Josh Sweat likes Philly. He likes the fans. He likes his teammates. He could easily come back. The thing is, Philadelphia might just go and get Myles Garrett as his replacement. So it's kind of like he's in a weird spot.
You could have Hassan Reddick.
No, stay away. I want defensive ends who actually try to go after the run. I'd rather take Jadeveon Clowney at this point. Okay, seriously.
He didn't do anything this year.
Reddick,
Jadeveon Clowney is a solid run defender.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney is the opposite of Reddick, where he doesn't really go after the quarterback a lot, but hell, he will hit a running back for some reason.
Oh yeah. Exhibit 8. See his draft video of blowing up the running back.
Watch a draft video, get a bowl game, get a guy drafted. That dude literally didn't even play his entire senior season and got drafted.
I wish Hassan Reddick went after the quarterback.
No, that's all he does. He doesn't go after the running back. He was just so bad for your Jets because he literally got the entire season on the bench.
All I know is he had half a sack in 8 games.
Oh yeah, my favorite part is he is the only player to play X amount of snaps not to register a sack out of all defensive linemen in the entire league.
I love that stat. The only good thing he did for us is that we didn't wind up having to give you guys a 2nd-round pick because he was so bad.
It's a conspiracy theory. Bryce Huff is the one I want to see if the Eagles can move.
Oh man, I'll take him back.
I have a feeling they're going to try to be like, hey, Detroit, you want a guy who's a good wide non-edge rusher?
He might be a guy
is a 3rd rounder.
He might be a system guy. He was amazing with us. Maybe he's just a system guy.
Well, who is it? Your boy Carton. Well, I'm actually becoming a bigger fan now because he's becoming a staunch Jalen Hurts defender out of nowhere, right?
Which is crazy.
Oh no, he hates Philly, but he's almost as big a Jalen Hurts defender as I am, or Kevin is. But here's the thing. He said this straight up. He goes, Howie Roseman figured this out. Bryce Huff's terrible unless he's in the right system. Vic Fangio's system doesn't work for Bryce Huff. So they put in Nolan Smith, who is a freak of nature and had an amazing second half of the year and holds the Eagles record now for sacks in the playoffs. I mean,
no gloves too.
A couple Hall of Famers who kind of played edge rusher for the Eagles at one point. So all I'm saying is that I could see Bryce Huff easily get moved for a 2nd or 3rd round pick to Detroit or what other teams need an edge rusher? No, we would never trade in division, especially to you bozos. We traded Dallas because they're morons. Dallas will give us Micah Parsons and Jerry's 3rd-born child or something for it.
For John Dotson and
right. Jerry I want Jahan Dotson.
Jerry will be I
want the backup. Stein. Yeah, there it is.
Jerry will be I want Jahan Dotson. Do you have Avonte Maddox still? I'll take him and give me Marcus Epps. Be Jerry, we don't have him anymore. No deal.
No, Howie be like, yeah, sure, we'll give you Marcus Epps.
Yeah.
Give us Micah. All right, Micah, you're an Eagle now. Micah, just doing the happy dance the entire way out of the Dallas facility. He goes, I'm going home. Oh my God. This is why I love the off-season show. Because we start draft prep next week. MLB previews in a week and a half. Subi's going to be coming on, hopefully. We're doing college basketball. We might try to get our boy Zach Keelman back on. He's been on the show since, 2021. We may talk some UFL. I enjoy these shows because there's no rhyme or reason. I even told DJ before, I'm like, buddy, you're signing up for literally like a chaos hour. Like, there's no direction to the show whatsoever. We could end it now, honestly, but I mean, we got probably more stuff to talk about. Because what just puck just dropped actually. Team USA versus Canada, because we support freedom down here. Nations Cup final.
I just placed a $17.76 bet on the USA money line.
That is so specific. Yeah, boy, man.
Yeah,
There's
1776.
a whole lot of America dripping out of there.
That was
1776, Nate.
We signed the Declaration of Independence 1776.
Oh,
Yeah.
We were like, that's so specific.
I know, my fault. I haven't been. In
It's
history
okay.
class in
I had
some time.
$17 in my DraftKings account. I put $6 on a parlay, and then I put $11 on straight up money line for the Team USA. We going for
I
the
am
dub.
going to make a bold prediction for this game. USA wins 5-3.
USA blanks them 3-0.
Not to go off topic, I can't wait for MLB over unders. Those are fun.
Those are.
I can't
Oh
wait
my
to do-
god, I forgot it. Do you want to do that with Brent again this year? Or do you want to bring in Vince too?
We should definitely bring Brent in.
Yeah, Brent.
Yeah.
Brent's gonna get
Yankee
hostile.
fans not asking for another Yankee fan. Typical.
Well, listen, no, Brent is the Yankee fan who gets hostile.
Do you know how
Matt's-
long I did this pod with 2 Eagles fans, and then we would bring on guests that would just happen to be Eagles fans? Like, yes, we can bring in another Yankee fan for an episode.
We
I'm
can
not
try to see if
arguing with you.
Ryan
I'm just pointing
Garcia
out
wants
the
to
obvious.
get
I'm
another crack
agreeing
with us.
with you. I'm here too.
Oh yeah.
I know Ryan would love to come back on. I know Dom would slither back out of somewhere. Be like, "You guys have Ryan back?" Like, no, Dom, you're sitting in the back. I love Dom to death. That's my boy, but like, he kind of played himself out of the podcast.
I can't wait to smash the over on the A's win total. Oh, it's gonna be so
What is
fun.
it, 40?
14.
Hey! Excuse you, sir. We have a new ace in town. His name is Luis.
Sorry,
Segue.
Fine, 45.
There you go. Thanks, boss. Appreciate that.
Take it or leave it. Now, I already I think I smashed the Diamondbacks over because it was like 81 wins. I was like, that's a joke, right?
Corbin Burns. Whoo! I'm excited.
Corbin
to watch
Burns.
that one,
Yeah,
boys.
we have like 5 legit starters and one fat guy who thinks he's a legit starter.
I thought you let him go.
No, he's still there.
Ah, damn. Sorry, boss.
It's okay.
Hey,
Apparently,
set him this way. We'll take him off your hands for you.
I
He'll
was,
be our
I
second.
was talking to Chris about it. We were at the parade, and I was like, "Yeah, I got a tweet from Diamondbacks Insider." I was like, "Apparently, Jordan Montgomery showed up to camp 20 pounds lighter." I'm like, "It's not April Fool's yet, guys. This isn't a
good,
funny
though.
joke."
Maybe we'll see. I mean, hey, CC did better with weight and did terrible.
Jordan Montgomery did not.
Maybe Jordan Montgomery will do better without the weight.
Not me in the back behind the bullpen at Fenway. Hey, fat boy, sit
all right,
down.
so you got Corbin Burns is going to be the one. Then you got Zach Galen, and then you got Merrill Kelly. So maybe
Erod and then fought.
yeah. So then maybe like if Montgomery winds up being your third, maybe he'll have a better season.
He hurt his left index finger. He has an exam coming.
He's gone. Never mind.
What he did? He was pointing out where he was overpaid in his contract.
Listen, this is what you got to do. Send him to New York. We'll give you Mark Stroman.
No, give us bullpen help. I don't want some overpaid moron who can only throw for 5 innings a game.
I'm sorry. I'm sensitive to my bullpen. I'm not giving anybody up.
Yeah, no, we'll trade him to the Mets and watch him ruin their clubhouse.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm still bitter about the Mets tanking last year. On
They
that
didn't-
last game of the season,
Oh.
where if they
right.
won the game and didn't just throw their bad guys out there and hacked at every pitch like an idiot, the Diamondbacks would have made the playoffs as the other play-in team. So yeah,
Montgomery.
in the hierarchy. Oh, by the way, boys, we're getting a special hierarchy of hatred baseball edition today.
Oh.
You guys ready for
Let's
it?
go. Yeah.
All right, coming in number 1, like it's no surprise. Those goons from Los Angeles who overpay for everyone. The Dodgers.
Fair.
I hate the Dodgers more than the Seminoles. I hate the Dodgers more than honestly the Cowboys right now because the Cowboys are kind of a joke. I hate them more than Duke basketball. I hate them more than certain senators who do insider trading. I hate them a lot. So, LA Dodgers number 1. Number 2 is San Francisco Giants. I still can't stand them. I hate their fan base. Not Kelsey. I love you, Kelsey. I hate when I have to watch a Diamondbacks Giants game And every time we're at whatever park they play in by the bay, I hear this one lady screaming next to the camera. And I'm like, can somebody bonk her on the head with a mallet or something? Just like knock her out so we don't have to hear about this anymore. So the Giants are number 2. Number 3 is the New York Mets. Maybe it was the bunch of years going to Mets Diamondbacks games, getting harassed by a bunch of fat Long Islanders who don't understand how baseball works anymore. Or it's the fact that they basically tanked the game so my team couldn't make the playoffs. Yes, we pitched like crap and Paul Sewell was partially to blame. I don't care. F the Mets. 4, I would say. I don't really hate the Padres or the Rockies. I kind of pity the Rockies, and the Padres to me are kind of just like our fun neighbor to the south. Like I love Fernando Tatis. I think he's fun as hell to use. Like I like Jake Cronenworth. I love all those guys. Machado's like I love him too. Texas Rangers. Corey Seager. We were 4 Paul Sewell pitches away from being World Series champions in 2023. Prove me wrong. And I believe that's 4. So last but not least, Boston Red Sox. I can't stand your fans. Y'all were laughing at me when you guys were up 3-0 when I was at Fenway with my sister and my dad. Then the Diamondbacks hit 4 home runs off you. Y'all got real quiet real fast. Can't stand the Red Sox. I hate their fans, except for the fans that I'm related to or friends with. So, all right, but that's my hierarchy hatred for baseball. NFL news: Zach Martin is retiring. So, Dallas Cowboys O-line gets even weaker. It's okay though, because Dak said they're 1 or 2 games away from the Eagles, so it's okay. They'll be fine. No score right now. USA versus Canada. But other than that, Matt, did you enjoy my hierarchy of hatred?
I did. I was listening to it while I was away. I agree. My 1 will always be the Red Sox for obvious reasons.
They're my 5.
Rivalry, the fact of watching as like I was like 7 or 8 years old watching Pedro Martinez toss Don Zimmerman off the mound after I just met him at a dinner like not long before. So I was a little sensitive as a 4th grader. So it'd always be Red Sox 1. Obviously Astros are 2. I will never forgive them for costing 1 Judge Rookie of the Year in 2017 while they were cheating, and then also costing Tanaka and CC a second ring, Tanaka a ring in 2019. My 3rd is obviously the Dodgers for just paying for everybody, which sounds very, contradicted because I'm a Yankees fan, but back paying everybody billions of dollars and then just winning and then beating us in the World Series, and then Joe Kelly and everybody just taking their shots at us and all that good stuff. So it's obviously those are my top 3. If I got to go 4 right now, I actually like the Mets, but I'll have to go Mets at 4 just because with the Juan Soto going over there. It's not even really crosstown rivals. I've always enjoyed the Mets. I never disliked them. I think it's because I'm a Jets fan. I always felt for the Mets. But then they get Juan Soto, and Juan Soto starts to talk his talk. And now I'm like, you know what, buddy? I hope and pray that you guys have just 15 years of just misery.
I honestly, I can't wait. I really hope the Mets have like a 68 win season. Like it just goes tits up, just straight like awful. So by the way, some NFL news quick on the Zach Martin note. Travis Kelce leaning towards returning for 1 more season, at least. Aaron Rodgers took a picture with Deshaun Watson. Who cares? Jameson Williams won't face any other discipline for his unlicensed handgun. It's America. Darius Slay wants to return to the Philadelphia Eagles for at least 1 more year. We'd love to have you back, Darius. Can you make Keely Ringo not get beat on double moves? Do
you think Slay goes to slot?
I mean, I would rather put DeJean there. Hell, I'll put him. Hey, listen, if we get an injury to safety, have him just play deep. I'm good with it. That is it for NFL update rumors as of right now. Chargers agreed to terms with Elijah Molden, their safety, for 3-year contract extension.
Joey Bosa is expected to be cut.
Ooh, and apparently, according to his mother, that means he's going to the 49ers.
He's just going to miss half the year anyways. Khalil Mack's interested in a reunion with the Raiders.
I would love that, having him and Max Crosby on one D line with Dexter.
And
with,
Max Crosby
with,
and Christian
with
Wilkins.
Christian Wilkins. I always get the two Clemson guys mixed up. Sorry, Nate. So the Cooper Cup rumor, by the way. So we have three teams that have emerged as front runners. This is the other one I love today: Commanders, Patriots, and Steelers. Now,
Patriots are in on every receiver.
bear with me here. The NFL media is so gung ho about the Patriots being back. I'm sitting here like I'm looking like the John Travolta meme. I'm like, where's the stuff? Like, listen, I get it. Drake May is a hell of a quarterback, a lot of talent. Y'all still need an offensive line. Last time I checked, your only decent running back is Ramondre Stevenson, who was a fantasy bust and a half. You don't really have any tight ends are okay. Your defense is awful, besides Christian Gonzalez. A lot of big things to fill, man. And to quote Miss Haley Steinfeld, or soon to be Miss Haley Steinfeld Allen, I don't know, whatever she's going to. It's the Bills and their three sons. Sorry, Matt. I was kind of mad she didn't make a dig. 15 yards was on Patrick Mahomes. I was like, come on, you can do it, Haley.
I will say, I think the Patriots are back, but I think they're back in progress. It's 2025. I think 2027, they could be making some serious damage if everything pans out.
I have a fun take. It's better off being a Patriots than a Dolphins fan right now.
I agree.
Dolphins are a mess.
So hear me out. I thought Mike McDaniel should have been fired this year. So shout out to my boy Adam, who me and DJ got to meet over at Caps Off podcast. And DJ, I don't remember the conversation you had with Adam at the Fantasy Football Expo. He was he hates Mike McDaniel, or at least he didn't like him. And the biggest problem was he wasn't a fan of like what they're doing with Tua. I don't think Tua is the issue. I think Mike McDaniel's play calling, because last time I checked, the Dolphins, I believe, were bottom 5 in scoring points this year with a loaded roster full of weapons, but they have no offensive line. On top of that, they can't keep Tyreek Hill in line, or at least happy. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that? I think the Dolphins, DJ, I'm actually curious. Who's in a better situation right now, Dolphins or Patriots?
Oh, it's the Patriots. Not even close. I hate what the Dolphins have done the last few years. Like I hate that roster construction. I don't like what they've done with coaching. I think what they did at the second half of the year was literally only threw the ball to Devin Achane. They took away all deep passing in the offense. They never built the offensive line. They built a track team and just said like, oh, we'll get them in space, because for like 8 games last year was awesome. It doesn't work. Like the pieces don't fit. You built a Madden team.
Zone
but
defense is a real thing, guys. Like, seriously,
like
there's a way to stop speed. It's called zone defense.
And speed is the first thing to go. Like, I know they're young, but it takes one injury and suddenly Tyreek Hill's not quite running away from everyone the same way. Still, it's fast, but like there's a chance that someone can catch.
Defense continues to get.
Not everyone's Raheem Moser, who can run for 4,000 miles an hour until he's 8.
Well, they just let him go, I think, too. But
which, I mean, he's going to go to another team and be a good change of pace back. I mean, like, why are we complaining about it?
Defense has only gotten weaker as the seasons have gone by. They still do not want to address the offensive line, and I couldn't tell you the last time that they had a tight end. Anthony Fasano.
Smith actually had a really good season for them.
This last year he did in the second half because they refused to throw the ball beyond 10 yards.
Yeah. But Johnny Smith is not a
I'm not complaining.
They need a lot of help on the offensive line. They need another running back behind a Shane. They need tight end and defense, a lot of defensive help. I think it's a better position to be a Patriots fan right now. Drake May is quarterback of the future for them. Yes, that offense needs a whole makeover. They need offensive line. They need running backs. They need receivers. I think the one bright spot on offense for them right now is like Hunter Henry. But that defense plays hard. And they do like this. They do need defensive help, but they have all the right pieces. They have the quarterback and they have the coach. Those are the two most important things I think any team needs right now, is a good coach and a good quarterback. And I think as long as they just add to that offensive line, get a couple receivers, and add to that defense, they're going to be fine. I think next year, depending on how this offseason, this draft goes, I think they could be better than the Miami Dolphins.
And they got the third most important thing for a building team. They got a piss load of money to spend. Like, yes, they have the most cap space by far.
Yeah. That's why they're in on every receiver, because if T. Higgins were to hit the free agency market, they're probably going to give him the lowest money.
Anyone who's looking for money, you're a Patriot.
What's
Like,
their
no
cap?
one's going to outbid them for
What is
anything.
it, 125 mil or whatever? It's so ridiculous.
And the cap just went up 20 million like yesterday, so that might be close to
25.
140 now.
It's 25 because I know I think it's one team is now $1 million over the cap, under the cap now because they it went up 25,000, up 20 million.
The Patriots have 128 million in cap
128.
space.
Insane. What do the Commanders have? 130, 115, somewhere there.
82.
That's
The next one after the Patriots is the Raiders with 99. So the Patriots have the most cap by almost 30 million.
What do my Birds got now?
Your Birds are all the way down. They're right under us. You guys got 19.5 million. We have 23.8.
I'm okay with that.
If the Jets cut Rodgers and Adams and Lazard, that could free up about 55 million.
Restructure Slay and Lane Johnson's deal. We're back. So that's another 20 million right there. Yeah.
They're cutting
All right.
Rodgers, which means Adams is gone, which means to get rid of Lazard. So yeah, 55 million for the Jets.
Nice. So we're gonna switch a little bit up to baseball. We did promise to talk a little baseball headlines as well. WBC, is that next year?
Yes, 2026.
Aaron Judge wants to play in that next year, allegedly. A's are still set for 2028 to move to Vegas. Soto bought Brett Beatty a car. It was actually kind of a cool video for him giving him the 22 jersey. Manfred, being a dummy, backs the Dodgers spending. Yeah, no. Bad idea. Very bad idea. You're basically backing to break the system.
It sucks for right now for the next 6-7 years because they're probably going to win multiple championships. But after like years 8, 9, 10 or whatever, they're going to be strapped.
There's only one hope to stop them. We're their kryptonite. We always have been. We always will be. We are their We're the kryptonite.
No, the kryptonite's going to be when a different team besides the Dodgers finally secure a freaking Japanese prospect and not them.
Yeah. Also, the Yankees extend Aaron Boone. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it. I know I was all anti-Aaron Boone. He had a good year this year. Mm-hmm. The thing that got me, he was a much better manager in the postseason this year. I will give you that. He has been such an atrocious postseason manager that I was like, get him out because he can't coach in October and November. But I will give him credit. I don't know what he did this year, but he was a lot better of a coach in October and parts of November. Well, we only played like one game in November. So that's what got me. I'm fine with it. He seems to have righted the postseason ship a little bit. But listen, this guy has gotten this team 100-plus wins. 2-3 seasons. He's been here like 7 years, whatever the case is. I think he's been here since 2018. Mm-hmm. He's had 2 or 3 100-plus game seasons. The man is a phenomenal regular season coach. His issues were always in October. And this year, we got past the divisional. We got past the championship. We finally didn't choke. We got to the playoffs. We got to the World Series. We choked. But our issue is we could never get past the LCS. We finally get over that hump. I saw a lot of improvement in him in the postseason. I'm willing to ride the Aaron Boone ship for another 2 seasons. So I'm fine with it. I don't see a better alternative right now. I don't think going with a rookie coach after this year, no matter what the outcome would have been a great move. So I'm on board with it. Mm-hmm. If we can win the World Series this year, next year, the year after, then it's going to be an amazing thing. But if not, he's got to go.
All I know is MLB The Show, 3.5 weeks.
Oh, I can't wait.
I cannot either. Gotta love having Game Pass Ultimate because I get it day one. All right.
Game Pass Ultimate. I just have Game Pass. What's Ultimate?
Well, I have Game Pass. It's the $20 a month one. I have it. Well, I was able to get Avowed day one. It's actually not a bad game. It's kind of fun.
I don't pay $2.
Listen, I was already paying. So apparently, I was paying for 2 subscriptions to Game Pass for the last 3 years. So I figured it out when one was about to expire. And I basically then lost Game Pass Console, which was like the best one, but you can't get it. You can only have it. It's a like grandfathered one. So now I have to pay for Game Pass Ultimate, which sucks. But that about wraps it up for us today. We're at the it's about 8:30 right now. It's still 0-0 USA, but go USA. DJ, you can find him and our boy Kelsey at All Things High Low Sports. New episode just dropped yesterday. Go check it out. We'll be back Monday talking all things NFL quarterbacks. You can find Nate and my favorite Giants fan, Mr. Brian, at All Things 3rd and 10. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I've basically been shooting howitzer-sized shells through every one of his takes for the last 2 weeks.
I understand. I'm
just
think
petty. I told Kelsey this.
I know.
It's nothing personal. I think he's a good kid.
I know.
I know. When I seen Eagles hater the last 3 weeks, I just been like, all right, how big of a shell is too much? No, we need bigger. All right. I don't want to just Windex erase it. I want to blur it. Like, I want to like make a burning hole in the sky with it. All right. But you can find me, Matt, and Nate at All Things Corner with Pod. We'll be back Monday for obviously quarterback previews. I believe we'll do. We're going to decide if we want to do running backs Thursday or the following Monday. We'll see how many weeks we got till the draft. Combine is next week, so. And be on the lookout for our baseball preview as well as our March Madness preview with some old friends. That being said, I am Jared. Shout out to our sponsors, Righteous Felon Beef Jerky, promo code BELLYUP for 15% off at checkout. Candidates, promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off at your checkout purchase. Wording. And of course, SeatGeek, promo code BELLYUP Sports for $20 off your first purchase at checkout only. First purchase. But I'm Jared. That's Deej, Maddie, Nate. We will catch you guys obviously on Monday. Check out anything on all of us, Corner Booth Pod, replays of episodes, clips. Nate's been killing it this year with the clips so far. And yeah, we'll see you guys Monday. Peace. Shout out to Kevin Kelsey getting married. Woo!